There's one important reason why you should never pay attention too early to leaks when it comes to phones. And that's because sometimes they don't come true. So I just saw some more information from popular, normally accurate leakers, stuff that's being reported on Twitter and some articles, how the Fold 4 is not going to have the same camera as the S22 Ultra, which is very, very disappointing. And if you look at what they're putting out now, they're saying it's going to look exactly the same, basically, as it does now. We get this because a lot of renders and cases are coming out and things like that, and it's been confirmed by multiple sources that yes, it's going to be the triple stack like we have now, with likely a 50 megapixel primary camera. So it's not going to get the 108, at least from what we're seeing, and it's not going to be the S22 Ultra camera setup, which is very, very disappointing because when you're paying top-notch quality for the hardware, you would expect that the nicest, most expensive, fanciest, cutting-edge technology phone that Samsung has would get the latest and greatest. But instead, it seems like more compromises so they can keep a slimmer form factor, not have a big camera bump on the back, and probably charge a little less money. And there's some give or take there. The cameras on the Fold 3 are not terrible. However, when you're talking about a $1,799 phone, you expect better. It's frustrating when you pay $1,799 for something like this, and then along comes the S22 Ultra, and they give you these amazing cameras, and then you're not going to get them in the Fold 4. And I feel like we're setting ourselves up for more disappointment, or I think Samsung's setting us up for disappointment, because Samsung's turning into Apple. They're giving us the same product year after year with just some slight, not really noticeable improvements. So I know that you're not supposed to buy a new phone every year. So if you get a new phone every 2 or 3 years, then yes, you're going to see some upgrades. If you went from the original Fold and you held on to the Fold 3 or the Fold 4, that's a pretty tremendous update. However, it's not that exciting year over year, and maybe we should change our expectations. I like what I talked about the other day with the Surface Duo 2, looking at we're not going to get a Surface Duo 2 this year, they're going to wait till next year. Maybe they should wait and not come out with a new Fold every year because, well, then we would get better upgrades and we don't necessarily need to get new phones year over year. Really, the whole year over year thing, I get it. As a tech enthusiast, I like to get the new one every year, and Samsung makes it easy. If you look at the S22 Ultra right now, if you have an S21 Ultra, even with the cracked screen, you can trade it in for $1,000 towards a new phone and get it for $199, and you get $100 of Samsung credit. So that makes it really enticing. But most people don't do that, and that's not kind of a normal thing. Most people usually hang on to their phones 2, 3, 4 years. So could be preaching to the choir here for some people, but also it is a little frustrating to see that they've really kind of taken a step back when it comes to their hardware. So looking at the Fold 4, that what we're supposed to get with that, and then just looking at the Fold 3 over the Fold 2, if I were not a reviewer, I would not have bought it. Largely, I don't think that the Fold 3 is that much of an upgrade. The only thing that really added on there is this. You get S Pen support, and the S Pen doesn't even go inside the phone, which is very frustrating because you have to have these stupid janky cases. Well, the Fold 4, hold on guys, stand back for a second, take a deep breath. This is going to blow your mind. We're going to get S Pen support for the front screen. Woo! Because they couldn't give it to us the first go around. And I called this the first go around when we got the Fold 3, saying they're not going to give it to us because they got to wait till the Fold 4 to give people a reason to upgrade so that they can say they gave us a new feature. So basically the Fold 4, they're going to recharge us another probably $1,600, $1,700 so they can give us S Pen support on the front, slightly better cameras, which aren't the newer best cameras you can get, and that's probably going to be about it. I think they're shaving out about a millimeter off the height and making it maybe a millimeter wider, which is negligible, and maybe slightly lighter. So there's not a whole lot here to get excited about, just like with the Flip 4. Not a whole lot of changes there, and it's already been confirmed that it's going to be the same camera they've used for 4 generations. It's like a 4-year-old camera. So, yes, I feel like Samsung really has taken a back seat here, and they realize that there's no competition. And when there's no competition, you get complacent. They're just sitting back collecting a paycheck and changing just enough so they can say that it's new. So it'll have the Snapdragon 8 Plus Generation 1 probably, which, whew, that's great. I mean, slightly better, and I think the battery's going to be about the same size. So there's not really a whole lot to report here when it comes to the Z Fold 4, and it's disappointing. Gone, it seems, are the days of the pioneering Samsung who gave us this really cool technology with the Fold, and then the Fold 2 was a huge change. They changed so much stuff. And now it's like, all right, we're going to give you a slightly less indented crease, and you can use the S Pen on the front screen and maybe some slightly refreshed cameras. Here, pay us $1,700. And I am not happy about this. You probably shouldn't be happy about it either, because it's just Samsung taking advantage of people who want to get a new phone and charging more money and doing the bare minimum. If they were to get like an evaluation on their performance, it would be checks off, does the bare minimum. Like they sit there and they watch Netflix and at work instead of doing their actual job, and then they just rush out something at the end and say, ta-da, here's our new product. So yeah, this revelation that we're getting with the camera not being improved, that was one of the things I said they absolutely needed to change from the Fold 3 to the Fold 4 to give us a better camera. Yes, the camera is okay on the Fold 3, but at $17.99, it's not impressive. It's not impressive at all. So I was hoping that we would get better cameras. Same thing with the Z Flip 4. I was really hoping we were going to get better cameras, and all the sources pointing to it. And the reason the sources are more reliable now than they were back in May, these phones are already in production, and the people that are reporting this stuff are people who make cases for them. It's being confirmed. It's not just like, hey, somebody came out of left field and brought this up. People have seen what this looks like unofficially. So when it comes to the phone, if you don't have a Fold 1 or maybe even a Fold 2 and you just want to have the S Pen, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of reason to upgrade. It's really a frustrating proposition because Samsung was doing so much, like leading the way and pushing the envelope. And you look around, like for the first year or two, there wasn't a whole lot to look around and see what's being done by some of these other companies like Honor and Huawei and Xiaomi. They're doing some great things. Even Vivo with their Fold phone, they're doing some really cool stuff. And then we have Samsung basically giving us the same thing year over year over year for 3 years. So for Fold 2 to Fold 3, ta-da, they gave us the S Pen, whoopity-doo. And now we're going to get a slightly thinner, less deep crease on it that's not as noticeable, and S Pen support on the front, and slightly better cameras. I had really big hopes for this year that they would change some things and be more aggressive with it. Ideally thinking somebody would catch up and start making something to compete with them, at least outside of Asia and the United States where we can get a hold of these things. And that just doesn't seem to be the case. And it doesn't seem like Samsung is really too keen on trying to improve the status quo. So we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty much expecting disappointment at this point in time when it comes to the Fold 4. Seeing all that stuff today and yesterday with people talking about it, and it's just one more letdown when it comes to Samsung with what they're bringing to the table. But when these things happen, it presents opportunities for other companies. So maybe somebody will step up and do something great. I'm really hoping that this Google Pixel foldable phone happens at some point in time, maybe next year. It keeps getting pushed back. I hope it doesn't keep getting pushed back and pushed back every year like the Watch did. But Google has some exciting stuff. The Pixel 6 phones, we've got the Pixel Watch coming out this fall with the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro. We get the Pixel Buds Pro coming out with the Pixel 6a soon. There's stuff that's exciting looking around, but when you look at the foldables, it went from being cutting edge to very dull butter knife edge very, very quick. And the prices are still high, and they're not really adding a lot of extra value to make you want to go out and go buy one of these, especially if you've got one already. Not really a whole lot of incentive to upgrade. So tell me what you think. Is this a disappointing proposition? Is it frustrating seeing Samsung basically giving us the same thing again, kind of like Apple does with their iPhones? iPhone 12 to iPhone 13, not a lot of change. Fold 2 to Fold 3 or Fold 3 to Fold 4, Flip 3 to Flip 4, not a whole lot of change, but they still want you to pay premium dollar for their new stuff. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please go down to the comments section and I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.